Yes, good day, viewers. My name is Emmanuel, your friend, and the CEO of Emma's Integrated Farm. And there is a very big challenge a lot of persons are going through or are facing in fish farming. Some persons, when they want to start fish farming, they just, you know, get a pond for themselves, then they put water in there, then they start to rear fish. No, if you engage in that, if you do that, there is no way your pond or your fish will be okay. Your fish farming business can never be okay if you go that way. The question is, how do I go into it to be successful? That is the question. Number one thing for you to be successful in your fish farming business, your pond must be fertilized. Your pond must undergo what I call fertilization. So the question is now, what is fertilization of pond? Fertilization of pond is the process of conditioning the pond to look like natural environment for fish inhabitants. In other words, if your fish pond is not conditioned to look natural for fish inhabitants, there is no way fish will be successful in that environment. The question is, how do I condition my pond? And what kind of pond do I condition? Number one, we condition majorly what we call the artificial pond, which I remember in my last video, I told you when we are talking about artificial pond, we are simply referring to both the mobile one, which is the tarpaulin and the tanks, and we are talking about the concrete. But in this case, when you are using both either the concrete or the other one, no, when you are using them, it's very good. But both of them must be fertilized. The question now is, how do I carry out fertilization in pond? Step number one, you go and get what we call a fowl dung. When we are talking about fowl dung, we are talking about fowl sheets. You can have access to fowl sheet anywhere. You get a fowl sheet, you put it inside a sack bag, you tie the mount of the sack bag, you put it inside an empty pond. Then you put water inside. Then when you put water inside, remember, the size of your pond is 4 feet, a standard pond. And the water will get to about 3 feet. The moment the water gets to 3 feet, what do? You leave it there. The moment you let everything there, then the question now is, how do I know that my pond is fertilized? Number one, the water will be greenish in color. When the water began to is greenish in color, is a sign that the pond is fertilized. Then you will begin to see things that has to do like phytoplankton, spirogyra. When you begin to experience like phytoplankton or spirogyra inside your pond, is a sign that your pond is fertilized. And the moment the pond is fertilized, what do? You drill out the water. And apart from that, there is another sign, another thing you will also know that your pond is fertilized. You will now begin to see things that has life, like earthworm, mosquito larvae, swimming inside the pond. The moment you are seeing this is a sign that the pond is fertilized. So when you observe all these signs, it means the pond is fertilized. So this is how to know if your pond is fertilized and how to fertilize a pond using fowl dung. There are other methods that you can use, which I will be telling you in my next video. Please don't just subscribe. The moment you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Emma's Integrated Farm, subscribe to it, then like, then comment and share. Thank you very much.